What a glorious day. Absolutely beautiful. Hey guys, it is afternoon. I've already had my lunch. I'm sorry, it was a really good burger. I ate it so fast, by the time I was done, I was like, oh, I should have filmed that, but it was that good. Anyway, we are out for a bike ride down by the White House. We're currently at George Washington University, where it's about, I don't know, it's like 82 degrees, not too humid, nice little breeze. Yeah, it's a pretty gorgeous day. I have no agenda today other than to take my kid to soccer practice later. So I was thinking, let's go up to the U.S. Capitol where they're getting ready for the Labor Day concert. So there's been some activity up there. And of course, we can go by the White House and see what's happening at the White House. So up ahead there is the Mexican Embassy. There are two old federal buildings that they saved for the facade of the building, and then they built the rest of the office building up on top. So they went to preservationists and they're like, oh, we saved these two historic buildings. And we just built this giant monstrosity of an office building on top of the two historic buildings. So it kind of looks like somebody's closet where they've got two things in the bottom and then they stacked a bunch of IKEA stuff on the top. Anyway, architecture. Down there is the World Bank headquarters on my right, IMF on my hard right, and straight ahead taking you to the White House. Oh, I should note, remember yesterday I showed you the Wawa in Georgetown, which had a shooting. That's what we call a non-contact shooting. Nobody got shot. Somebody just discharged a weapon and ran off and they grabbed them. Those kind of shootings, well, those happen several times a day in Washington, D.C. There are non-contact shootings pretty much all over town, but that one, because it was in the middle of a major commercial district and in Georgetown, which normally doesn't have non-contact shootings, got a little bit more publicity. Today, three juveniles have been shot. Two boys at one school and then another kid in another part of town. So there's been three kids in the hospital today. Oh, GPS. Oh, what's this guy doing? FPS, Federal Protective Services. They don't rarely go anywhere. They're the security guards for most of the big government buildings. The fact that he's going with his lights and sirens on indicates something is up. And well, we're here, we're on the scene. Let's go find out. There's really only a half a dozen federal buildings down here. So that's a dorm on my right, but this is the General Services Administration. There he is. Whoa. Oh, it's just in a medical emergency, it looks like. There's a fire truck down here and a couple of police cars. Engine 23. That's the George Washington University fire engine, the one I show you in the thing. Inside, I don't see anything in the GSA building. No ambulances or stretchers. Another FPS cop down here. They're part of Homeland Security now. They used to be the GSA's police department, but now it's part of Homeland Security. All right, we'll get the fire call. We'll pull up the fire call on that one. It's a 1:30. Should be pretty easy to track down. Probably just a medical.
Yeah, response to 23, respond, 4% down, 1800 F Street Northwest in the lobby.
So these are the Secret Service vehicles. Get around these tours. We don't have any presidential travel today. The vice president might go somewhere, but she's not needed in the Senate today. The Senate's not in session, so not sure. But Pennsylvania Avenue is closed. Oh, I wonder if he's out for a walk. Now, they would close the whole park if he was out for a walk. Maybe on the other side, though. Like I said, it is a gorgeous day. We can go down to the south side and see if there's any activity. Got a police dog searching over here. Kind of normal. What a glorious day, yeah? Oops, sorry. Photobomb somebody. Pretty ordinary. Let's go down to the south lawn. Hope the opera singer is going to sing. Oh, and it looks like we can't get to the south lawn here. We got to swing around the president's secret escape alley. All right, let's go up this way. This is the Court of Federal Appeals. This is like one court below the Supreme Court, basically. A lot of the cases that come here end up at the Supreme Court. That's the Taylor House. And then this is Dolly Madison's house on the corner. That's where Dolly Madison lived after her husband died, President Madison. Let's go down this sidewalk.
You got parking space right up front, right in front of this truck if you want by the ramp.
This is the President's Secret Escape Alley. This connects to the Treasury Annex down there. The Treasury Annex has a tunnel to the Treasury, and the Treasury has a tunnel to the east wing of the White House. So if they need to get the president out, that's how they do it. I've shown you that before. National Christmas tree. Getting ready for the season. God, it's almost fall, isn't it? And we got a guy out here with an extension cord. What are they doing? Yeah, they're working on something out here. Every project that has out here always has like a Secret Service agent watching with them. Not much. Pretty darn quiet. Oh, hang on, is that the dog? It is.
Good day, brothers. To Washington, guys. Get your $1 White House water. Get your data.
Where'd he go?
Please do not let dehydration ruin your vacation.
Where's the dog? That's Commander.
Is he the one that's a rescue?
No, he's a new dog. Yeah.
White House $1 waters, guys. Get your Gatorade, guys. Grandson.
Yeah, grandson-in-law.
Grandson-in-law.
Yeah, he's marrying Naomi Biden in about a month.
Grandson-in-law. Okay.
Yeah. Guy named.
How old is he?
He's in his late 20s, I think.
He's the dog boxer.
Yep.
What a job.
So that's the granddaughter's dog and Commander, the president's dog. They are, man. They got the whole yard. All right, so we got a good glimpse of Commander, which is Joe Biden's dog, and then his granddaughter Naomi. That was her dog, and her fiance Peter Neal was out there running the dog around. He kind of takes care of the dog. I actually think Naomi and him are at the White House a lot, quite a bit. Anyway, let's head up to the Capitol Hill. Okay, we're on the National Mall now. That's the American History Museum. That's got a little bit of everything in there. That's where the First Lady's dresses are, the White House china, TV, movies, cars industry, computers, film, everything is basically in the American history. It's a pretty cool museum. We haven't been in there in a few months. I think we're due for a visit. So this big building up here is natural history. This is dinosaurs and bugs. This is the gem room, the jewels of the United States, the diamonds and emeralds and rubies and all that sort of cool stuff. Definitely a cool museum. That over there is the Smithsonian Castle. That's basically the administrative head at the Smithsonian. There are a few displays in there, but basically it's more like a welcome center to Washington. Arts and Industry is the second oldest museum. It's currently under renovation. They had a display there, but they have taken it down. Interesting. So the Labor Day concert is coming up, but they haven't set up at the U.S. Capitol for the Labor Day concert, unless it's going to be on the other side or something. Let's go down to the Capitol building, see what's going on there. I thought they would have had their big tent up. That is the National Gallery of Art. That's the classical art. On my right is the Air and Space Museum. And then right up here is one of these temporary security cameras that went in. There are 8 of these along the National Mall. Who knows how long they're going to stay. Temporary has a way of becoming permanent in Washington. All right, let's go up to the Capitol, see what's up. Pretty all darn quiet at the Capitol. There's a Capitol concert on Monday, but it doesn't look like they're going to do it out here. Maybe they're going to do it on the other side. Let's ride up to the other side of Capitol Hill. Since we're on an electric bike, it shouldn't be all that painful. And see if we see anything cool on the other side. All right, up we go. Then we'll make our way up Capitol Hill, which, as I remind you every time I do it, it is actually a hill, and it is not a pleasant bike ride. It is an uphill. But as I've got an electric bike, I got a little bit of an assist. This is the House of Representatives chamber over here. Everybody's gone right now, so pretty chill day. So in about a month, this parking lot will be filled with congressmen's cars and Suburbans and all that. But for right now, it's pretty empty. It's a CDU team. They're a riot police unit. A little bit of construction over here on the Senate side. I imagine that's just part of the major project that's going on the other side. And let's go back down Capitol Hill, I guess. Seems pretty dull here. Oh, there's the monument. So this is the little traffic bollard that's blocking the sidewalk. As I noted before, these aren't just generic Home Depot traffic bollards. They actually had these cast with the government seal inside them. Let's cut through the traffic. Oh, that's a tight squeeze. I don't think I can make that bus. Bus versus truck. We're going to have to do a sidewalk. I go through some pretty tight spaces sometimes, but that one, that was just a little too much. Over there is a pedestal that used to be a statue. That was the statue, I think, of Albert Pike. And it was pulled down during the George Floyd protests and is still in a warehouse, a Park Service warehouse. Now, the city government does not want that to go back up, but that is actually federal land and it is a federal statue. So it's the decision of the National Park Service. The Biden administration has not said anything about it. They kind of let it, sleeping dogs, you know, just let it be. But Trump said he would put it back up. We'll see what happens. So this is a former bank building turned into offices, but this was once the home of the Wormley Hotel. Wormley Hotel was a popular place in like the 1870s or so. It was owned by an African-American, a freed African-American, and named James Wormley, and he had the hotel here, and this is where the Compromise of 1876 was hammered out, or the Compromise of 1877 regarding the election of 1876. Rutherford Hayes and Samuel Tilden did a deal where Hayes became the president of the United States, but northern troops were removed from the South to placate Tilden's supporters. And that was how the election was decided. Now, as we go down the street, this is Ashburton House. Ashburton House was the home of Lord Ashburton. It was also the British legation British embassy sort of thing in the early 1800s. It's in this house that the United States and England worked out the final borders between the US and Canada. All right, the dividing line between the US and Canada, which was a bit of a sore point, was hammered out in that house and then signed over in the Treasury building nearby. This is St. John's Episcopal. Donald Trump used to go to church here. This is where Donald Trump had that photograph, a big famous photograph with the Black Lives Matter Plaza and all that. This is, as I mentioned, Black Lives Matter Plaza. Some of you were asking me the other day what happened to this. Well, it's still here. It's not very crowded right now, to be honest. During the George Floyd protests, this was sort of the hotbed of all of this, where everybody would meet up. They had candy and soda and selling t-shirts and everything. Now they just have the signs, Black Lives Matter Plaza, but there's not a lot of activity in the street. All right, so that's the Motion Picture Association of America. They're the guys who do the Oscars, but they also lobby Congress on behalf of Hollywood. So they have a movie screening cinema in there. It's supposed to be really nice, and they invite congressmen to see like first-run movies before they open in theaters, and then they talk to them about labor law or international distribution or whatever other legislation is affecting Hollywood. I was testing my really crappy brakes on this bike. Would have been fun to get hit by a golf cart, but he had to stop because of the barrier, so I was pretty safe. This up here is the Octagon House. I gave you guys a tour inside the Octagon House about a month ago. This was the White House after the White House was burned by the British. And this is where the Treaty of Ghent was signed. Right up there in that second floor curved area, that was the original Oval Office, yeah? That was, that curved office was an architectural feature of the time, and it worked its way into the White House, where they have an Oval Office that we now know today. This is the quarters of Engine Company 23. That's the old historic fire station that can barely fit the new modern fire trucks. Most of these buildings, that's the Multicultural Student Center, that's the Office of Alumni Development, that's the Institute for Urban Responsibility, that's the Graduate Education Human Development, Global Women's Institute, Corcoran Art Galleries, everything around here, every little townhouse, row house, it's all a building owned by the university, part of the students. Entry to a little quad. Here's some food trucks. Dumplings. In case you think the kids are starving on food trucks, they're not. Not only they have a Whole Foods right over here where they can get fresh food, make their own. There's also plenty of restaurants around here. But sometimes you want a hot dog. Oh, this road is going to be replaced soon, I hope. This is just ripped down to the foundation right now. This is the George Washington University Hospital, and the medical school is over there. And down here is the emergency room. Though they do have a helipad on the roof, I should note. Occasionally we hear helicopters coming in. But this is the Ronald Reagan Institute of Emergency Medicine, so named because the doctors here at this emergency room saved Ronald Reagan's life after he was shot by John Hinckley. He was rushed to George Washington. At the time, it was actually this building, though. They had the hospital over here, but they ended up moving across the street. All right, nice, fresh black asphalt, and smooth too. That, by the way, right building there is the Spanish Embassy. The Embassy of Spain is right there. Another one of those buildings where they kept the facade of the townhouses and built a big office building behind it. Yeah, new roads, and a bus. There's a taxi. DC taxis all have the same paint scheme now. When I was here, when I grew up here or whatever, younger here, they were all different colors. Now they're all kind of ugly. I haven't used I've used one cab in like the last, I don't know, 20 years. You remember there was that school shooting about 6 months ago or whatever. I actually jumped in the taxi, and just as I jumped in the taxi, the police or the fire department's mass casualty unit went flying right by us. And I literally got to say to the cabbie, follow that car. I mean, that was it. He's like, where are we going? I'm like, follow that car. He's like, okay. Hey guys, so that was whatever day it is today. Wednesday, I think? Yeah. Wednesday. Okay, so that's Wednesday in Washington, D.C. Pretty darn boring. We'll do something tomorrow. I think we'll have a helicopter tomorrow. We'll go around another neighborhood. Hopefully it'll be a little bit more interesting. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow. See you then.